Hi again. I see so many familiar faces, but super excited. This is our last panel, but all the juiciness is right here. You are missing, you are missing. We need one more chair. We need one more chair. Or maybe I can stand and do this for a change. Why not?
Are you okay with standing?
Yeah. Yeah, I look better while standing because you guys are so tall. You kind of make me feel really small. So let me stand. Okay. So thank you everybody for joining us today. The last panel, which is all about influence. And why not? You know, this is the Cannes Film Festival. Everybody is trying to dominate with their influence, some way or the other. So maybe we can talk to the experts on this panel, starting from Angelika USANOVA, the Miss Universe Ukraine 2023 and UN Goodwill Ambassador. Welcome. Give a big round of applause. And next on the panel is ALIIA ROZA, the former secret agent, the host and a fashion columnist, and much more than that.
Thank you so much, Rupa. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
And then we have Naomi Mendes, Miss Universe Paraguay 2023, if I'm not wrong. And then we have, one moment, Anna Fedorenko, founder of AF Media, PR, and also the founder of You Lead Business Community. And last but not the least, IRMA PEÑUñURI, the owner of Burgerrock Media, and an amazing speaker and amazing supporter of World Women Foundation. Welcome. We have been listening to her for the last one day, but she's amazing. So as we start this panel, probably, you know, the most important question I'll begin with, like, what do you think about influence, just influence in midst of the Cannes Film Festival? Maybe we can start from you.
Hello, everyone. I want to say thank you, first of all, for having me and it's a big honor to be part of the World Women Foundation, and I really support the mission that you're doing. For me, influence, and I think all of us would agree that nowadays influence, it's one of the most strongest currencies that we have nowadays. But we have to remember that influence without intention is just chaos. And intention without integrity is empty. So real influence is not just echo in the headliners. Influence starts by how many hearts we touch, how many voices we amplify, how much impact we have on our world. So that is the real influence. And I think it's very important nowadays to spread this awareness, not to reach out for something very like a ghost, again, like an echo in the headliners, but it's important to be that force for good, to have that purpose as a voice for something bigger than you are.
Thank you. Anybody else would like to chime in?
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much, Rupa. Thank you, World Women Foundation, to invite me. It's an honor to be here in front of you today. And I totally agree with you. Yes, influence is the currency nowadays, which is the most important. And that's why influencers, right, they have the power to speak out and give an impact. But also as a former secret agent, and now as a coach, women empowerment coach, and also influence coach, I've learned techniques, spy techniques, how to actually influence people in order to attract targets, to get information, to recruit them, and also to influence them, to persuade, to make them to do decision you want them to do. So influence is a huge power, and it's a skill that everyone can learn. And that's why we are here right now, learning that, communicating, and again, thank you so much for being here in front of this inspiring, beautiful women.
Do you have that training available?
Of course. I'm happy to share with these trainings with you guys.
Yes, definitely. We want that. But maybe, if I think all the panelists here have like not only influence, but mega influence. all of you. So maybe, I would love to hear a little bit about influence from everybody, because the vocabulary around influence is just not around social media. We have a very limited understanding and word around like what influence really mean. Maybe, you can share.
Exactly. Thank you so much. I'm Naomi, Miss Universe Paraguay. 2024, I'm still having the title. My next Miss Universe is maybe in 2025 is in 2 months or something, so we will have the new queen of my country. Influence is something very important, and especially as we mentioned here, intention is the most important part, where it starts. But the influence is not only because we have million followers or because you can impact your society in some way. Influence starts from the moment you are born, and you are always influencing somebody in your closest cycle. So that's why, for example, I wanted to share my grandma. She couldn't write or read. She was from Paraguay. I was born in Argentina, and I have 2 nationalities. So for me, the most important influence I received in my life was her example of never giving up and always telling us to study, to learn more languages, to go after we wanted. So then that influence changed my life. She maybe didn't have like 1,000 followers, right? Yeah. But she created a great impact in my life. That's why I always say in the stage, because I also have I work in wellness and fitness, and I encourage my community to always take care of their mental health, to surround themselves with people who are good for their mental health, for their well-being, and that's the greatest influence you can have, because when you take care of yourself and you surround yourself with people who love you genuinely, you can do great things.
Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you so much for invitation. I'm very grateful to be part of this event. As a founder of international PR agency and unit business community, I think influence is not just a tool, it's a daily responsibility. For me, it's very important remember about personal brand, influence, and not just followers in Instagram or just a like. It's about values, what you give to others, how you make your change world. It's very important what you say, what you do, what you do change people's lives or make this world better. It's very important. And my platform, what I built is by people for people, and then support people who can share your strengths, honestly, vision, because I'm thinking people followed by people. It's very important. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi again, I'm IRMA PEÑUÑURI, owner of Burgerrock Media. We're an agency where that's our main thing is influence. We work with big stars like Ozuna. We just recently worked with Will Smith and Steve Harvey, Paris Hilton, all the big names. But I think a lot of these girls already answered the question about what influence is and how it scales in different ways. I obviously deal with influence and entertainment, so I understand what it means in that space. But I do think that it's important that people have integrity and use influence even at the one-to-one scale, and like they just explaining about their family members or how they were influenced when they were young. I think that's super important.
But Irma, maybe I'll stay with you a little bit
cool.
here. Because, we are living in the age of viral moment. There is one time when we find there is a turning point, and we pay attention when there is a viral moment. When was that for you? When you felt like, okay, there is a turning point, people are paying attention to me or
to
my
me?
work, yes. And what do I do with this?
I think that, well, I think if some of you heard my speech yesterday, I think something that's very important is being present. I think I spoke about the difference between being seen and being present. And I think that all of us here have established how to be seen by being either in the audience or being on stage and figuring that out. But how do you become present and how you really control and how do you really grow a brand is something very different for me. We talked about how I did the Barack Obama campaign with J Balvin, and I basically didn't know anything about it. I was called out of nowhere, I made that happen. And I told the universe, I told God, when I got that moment, everything would be very present, and it would be more about how I was doing things, not so much about how I was showing off that I was doing things. Because I think the audience, because there's so much saturation in social media and television and every media, the audience now can see through things just being for perception. So if you really dig deep and are in a present sense in many different ways, whatever that means in your platform or who you are, you can really achieve more. So I think that's when I had the moment, and then I became visible.
That's beautiful. I heard that story yesterday, but it's worth sharing with the audience again and again, just to remind us, like we all have our viral moments. But
my viral Oh, yeah. So what happened, do you want like a short synopsis of it? Okay, she wants to tell the story. So basically, I had nothing. I didn't know what PR was. I was broke, and I thought I was going to work in entertainment. And the sad story: I have a baby, and I had a baby, and my whole family cut me off, and the worst, the lowest. But I had all these connections, and I was constantly being seen. I was constantly around people, going to the events, doing things. And I had a moment where I had a colleague call me and say, "Hey, do you want to do this campaign for Barack Obama?" Somebody that I met in my undergrad. I did my undergrad bachelor's degree in the United States in California in political science. And I thought to myself, I'm going to make this moment work for me. This could be my viral moment, or this could be my moment. And instead of bringing Beyonce or Drake to Barack Obama, I brought him J Balvin, because Beyonce has a song called Mi Gente, and it reflected in the Latino movement. And after J Balvin promoted reggaeton, everyone's like, how did he get to Obama? And they're like, oh, this girl. And then all the calls came. And then I decided, okay, this is my moment, and I'm going to run with it. But then you lead into consistency and work ethic and really going. But there's a lot of moments. You never know. Like, you just have to be ready.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. But also, moving on to the next theme, being present and also staying relevant. Influence means staying relevant for a very long time. Can anybody speak about relevance, being present and being relevant for a long time? What do you do?
Maybe I can speak a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I became popular and I got influenced when I got my beauty pageant title as Miss Universe Ukraine first. And of course, Ukraine, as everyone knows, is undergoing very, very difficult times. And the war is very, very, the topic that touched all around the world with things that's happening in Ukraine and Gaza and other countries. So for me to be the voice of unheard, to make invisible visible, to be that bridge between people who have no influence, but whose stories has to be shared, that is, I think, something which is very important to do when you're, influential person. And that is actually one of the reasons we started our documentary, a movie about to amplify the voices of the women and children and refugees from Ukraine, to share their stories. Because when you share things that are valuable, you are in the present moment, but also you are looking forward for generations. So these stories won't happen again. You learn from them. So I think this is the balance between being present, but also being ahead of a time.
Yeah, thank you. That brings us to another good question is, you have a platform, but you need to have a purpose. You have the power, power to influence, but what is your purpose? Maybe all of you, if you can share, what is that thing that you're trying to share with your audience to influence them in the most powerful way to take action?
Would you like to start? Or I can share.
I can start, sure. I think the most important for me to share with my audience, again, because my biggest, I think, topic that I talk as a person coming from Ukraine is peace, and telling people that peace begins with you. Peace begins in your inner world when you're alone. You have your time with yourself, with your family. If you don't have peaceful relationship in your family, in your relationship with your friends, how can we have a world peace? So for me, inspiring people to looking for that peace inside of them, being happy, being excited about everything they do, being present in the moment, and trying to raise awareness about their purpose, empowering them who they are, because everyone is a genius. Everyone is a gifted artist. We just forgot ourselves. So that is my mission and goal, to inspire people to be empowered leaders in their lives and to choose the peaceful way to navigate through the chaotic, ever-changing world around us, and to adapt to it and spread love on the way.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's really meaningful. I also stand for peace. My mission found me myself. I was born in USSR. My father at that time was a high-ranking general of the secret agency in Russia. And, and at 18 years old, he sent me to the same agency where I had to study in the spy school and learn all these techniques, which I just mentioned before. And that time, the ideology of the Russia was, and still is, to be the strongest nationality, of course, the strongest nation, but uniting Russians together, and also I'm coming from the Kazakhstan, but also uniting all the Soviet post countries together. And I had that time only one mission. I was working at the department fighting against human and drug trafficking. It's similar to something like DEA in America. I don't know what's the department in France, but it's FSB in Russia, former KGB, if you have heard about that. I believe you do. And seeing every day underage kids being kidnapped from their parents, from the school, walking out, where just like 8, 10, 12 years old, seeing these little girls and boys being kidnapped for sex trafficked and being overdosed over time, and just seeing these bodies laying on the floor, I said myself, you know what, I'll do everything, wherever I can to help and save them. And together with my team, which unfortunately are not alive, some of them, we saved over 500 underage children. So, thank you. I'm getting a little bit emotional. Sorry. I'm mom also, and my son is 15 years old, so it's just so, it's touching. And after I fled Russia, and it was a long story, I will not right now go into details because it will take another few hours. It's actually, I shared first time this story in the audiobook To Die For, which you can listen in Spotify and Audible and Apple Podcasts for free. I shared 20 hours of the story, why I'm here standing in front of you in this beautiful place, thanks to World Women Cancer Gender. And I'm just so blessed to be with you here. My mission right now is to inspire young generation, our kids, which are our future, and hopefully to build an orphanage, which this is my top number one, and take care about kids who suffered in the war, who lost their parents in the war, and in Gaza and everywhere, and just help them and bring awareness for this important cause. And we are, as women, raise your hands who are mothers here. You understand how important it is for our children to have a safe environment in the future, right? We want to give them this life, and we want them to live safe. That's my mission. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Naomi, would you like to share something?
Thank you. Yes. Well, my purpose is very linked of my personal story. So it's an extension of where I live. When I had 17, I left South America. I was raised by my grandparents. So when my grandfather he passed away, I left, and so then I realized that to live in a world that constantly challenges you to change, to overcome obstacles, you have to be ready emotionally, physically, and mentally. Yes. So that's when I take care. Since 17, I take care of my mental health. I start investing in my gym, in my working out hours, in my gratitude journal, in my intention in the morning. So everything I do is with an intention. And that purpose drove me through the years to live in many places in the world. I didn't find my home because I lost a little bit my home in that time in my life. I was looking for my home. And later, like 9 years ago, I found it. Once I reached the UAE, I live now in the UAE for the past 9 years, I felt finally, oh wow, I have like a home. I built it for myself, yes? But at a certain point also, I built something which is an extension of me again, which is very meaningful. It's called Storm Cycling. It was rated by the top #1 studio in Dubai and the second in the world. It's a HIIT training kind of working out on the bike with an intention, with a meditation. So that's what I co-founded with my business partner in 2019. We opened 6 weeks before COVID. We thrived during COVID, which was the most important part of our story. And so basically now, then when I got the title of Miss Universe Paraguay, because I choose to represent my family who raised me up. I have a single mom. And in that moment I say, wow. Because my grandma, she couldn't go to the school. She didn't have opportunities, yes? So I say I will do something for a woman that doesn't have opportunities. So I choose to educate for the next 3 years, and I started this in May last 2024, educate women who are in jail, deprive of them freedom. And I do the same program as I am having in Dubai, let's say like physical, mental, spiritual, but for them in jail. So I go with them, I meditate, we do gratitude journal, we do panel of vision. This woman, they didn't know what is a panel of vision. I don't know, you guys know what is a panel? Raise your arms if you have a panel of vision. I do, you know, we have goals, we have vision, we do things with intention, yes. But then you realize that not everybody lives like that. Some of the society, and unfortunately many, they live in a just day-to-day basis, and they're surviving, they're not living. So the most important part is just to educate every single one, emotionally, mental, and spiritually. And this is what I do through my course. And that's why I'm the only one in my country, I think, doing this for the past years and for the future. Like I signed an agreement for the next 3 years, because I don't think so that change happened overnight. Change happened with repetition, with habits, with constant, never-ending improvement, and it's a never-ending process that we all pass through. So for me, it's my purpose.
Beautiful.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Yes, thank you. I always felt some strong inner power and desire to do something bigger. I grew up without parents. They passed away when I was a child, but deep inside I felt always I'm meant for more. In 2022, when started war in Ukraine and many Ukrainians had moved to abroad, started new life without community, without support, that's why I started to lead community. It's Ukrainian for Ukrainian entrepreneurs. Our mission, Ukrainian for Ukrainians Unite for the Future. We began unite Ukrainian entrepreneurs, Ukrainians across Europe and beyond, and offering them support and new opportunities. Yes, and in just 2 years we united 2,000 and plus entrepreneurs from 18 countries. Yes, and we organize international support from local entrepreneurs in different countries. We support different international conference initiatives, charity projects, because when we unite together, we help each other, and we help together charity project in Ukraine and help our country. It's very important when we can do this together. It's my mission. When I saw how people's lives changing, where someone found partners, some found friends, investor clients, I feel do some actions in the right way, because it's very important. It's a very difficult time. I also go to abroad 3 years ago and started in Europe, in another country from zero. Yes, I think where we unite together and support each other, very important for us. Thank you.
Thank you. That's beautiful.
I have a mic. So I guess the question is purpose, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'm very, very, very passionate about pop culture. It's like what I eat, breathe, and sleep. It's all I've ever dreamed about. So for me, even being around you ladies and here and everything, it's just, to me, it's a high. It's like I started for the first time. So I think that my purpose is giving other people a chance to live that dream. And I'm very passionate about that dream when it comes to either artists or people behind the scenes. And specifically, I do carry a big weight and a very big purpose for Latinos in general and Latinas and women, because as I grow in my career, I start to see how it's a male-dominated space and how I still to this day have to slip through the cracks to be in certain positions. So I don't have a worldwide scale other purpose other than helping those that are passionate about pop culture just like myself and giving them that opportunity that maybe I didn't have and I wish I had.
Thank you. That's a great point. But also, while you're building influence and finding your purpose, sharing with the world, World Women Foundation is a community of 55,000 women globally. And 20% our audience are young women between the age of 18 to 21. And they will be watching these videos later on. We are unable to stream it today, but we will be restreaming it. So they would, once they are hearing from you, they are interested to know what are the barriers you face to be here today, and how do you overcome them?
What is the question?
Yeah, that's a question.
The question is, what are the
Barriers you face and how you overcome them.
I think the barrier that I face, to be honest, is men. To be honest, I'm there
That's a
now.
good point.
I would hear that and I didn't know about it until I'm here, and I have to like pretend I'm a little bit more dumb to be in situations, and they're like, "Oh no, she's smart," and I'm like, "Oh, just kidding." So I find that as a barrier. I really do. I think I don't think women are not united. I don't think men are evil. I don't think anything bad. I just think that in the position of power, that is my barrier. Because when women are, excuse my language, the B word, I kind of like it. I think it's cool because she fought to be there. Like if you're fighting for something, I think it's cool because I have to also do that to fight. But sometimes I feel like men, the way they do it is a little bit different. I don't really appreciate it sometimes. So that is my barrier right now.
I love it. Thank you. Anybody else?
Very authentic.
Yes, maybe. Yeah.
I think one of the most strongest barrier is a fear of being seen, fear of judgment, fear of what others say. I saw how many talented people hold back because they don't believe in themselves and they're afraid of rejection. And also I'm help for my clients build not just the personal brands, I help them to believe in their power and feel confident in their visibility. But visibility is not about ego, it's about how you can use your choice to help others. Wow. It's true. What is yes, and when we let go of this fear and we can make space for action, voice, impact, and real change come for us.
Thank you. Naomi, would you like to add something?
Yes, for sure. I think, as my favorite book says, The Mountain is You. Literally, do you know that book? It's a great book. I highly recommend it. It's talking about how you, most of the time, are your own, like the person who self-sabotage yourself all of the time. So I can see that in rhythm riding, in indoor cycling, what we do for the past years. We can see like when you are working out in the room, sometimes you have 10%, sometimes you have 50%, sometimes you have 100% because you sleep well. But so I always say in the room, you guys do your 100%, whatever 100 looks like today, we don't judge in this room, yes? So when you make sure that somebody is giving your 100%, even if it's 20, and they're doing their best, that's for me the success. So for my personal life also, I can relate that when I do something, I want to be the best version of myself, And sometimes I have fear of what's if, like my own power, yes? What if I am the greatest? What if I'm we actually, as humans, we fear greatness. We fear that, oh, what's so good? Why will I be that good? Why you wouldn't be if you're a child of the universe, right? So for me, that's important to remind myself every day that we have our own power, that we are connected with a higher power that help us to overcome every single obstacle, and that's no matter what is it what's coming. But even if you have 10% today, but you're giving this 10%, that will be the right choice. And I remind everybody every day about that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Education is very important, and to continue what you just said, my barrier, not like my fear, but the barrier which I faced being also in the war, if you remember the Chechen war before, and seeing a lot of horrors of the war, and then so suddenly the Ukraine war happened, and it was just so bad for all of us, for Ukrainian and Russian, for the whole world. And now we see these conflicts in Gaza. And after watching Mission Impossible yesterday, I understand how fragile our world is. And that's why it's so important to educate all of us, our next generation as well, to save this world. And it's so precious. So this is the biggest barrier. I think people need to unite, and more organizations, and you yourself with this amazing organization bring awareness to these important things in life. That's the biggest barrier, and I think all together, uniting, we can bring this awareness.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I would join all of your brilliant opinions, and I think talking from a personal experience, the barrier that I faced in order to be where I am is not knowing who I am. Like, everything starts by knowing who you are. Know your power, know your mission, know where you're going, know where you're coming from, know your past, look into your future, be in the present moment. When you embrace yourself, that's when you have no fears, you have no doubts, you just have a pure passion and excitement to do what you are born to do here. And the happiness and the excitement and love for things is your guidance. So I think knowing who you are is the number one thing. And the second is unresolved emotions. You really have to do the work with your emotions. Because why do we hold back sometimes? Because we have unresolved emotions. Because we are playing the victim games, or like we are afraid, or everything is around emotions. But when we connect with us, with the power, with the intention, and knowing that the universe is abundant and there is place for everyone, and you are not taking someone's place by being in your power, because there is place and a role for everyone. And when we unite and when we are authentic in our roles, the community gets stronger. So again, by becoming, each of us becoming the leaders in our life, becoming and embracing that genius, that spark that inside of us, that sets us apart, but at the same time unites us all together and makes the community stronger. That's how we become influential, impactful, stronger as a human race.
Thank you. Thank you. That's amazing. I think we are moving to the last part of the conversation, so I will make it a little bit fun and sassy. 3 words to describe your presence today. Well, you can be dramatic. This is Khan, just like...
Presence, you mean...
just being present. What does it mean? Just give 3 words.
I think it's always empowering, inspiring, and compassionate.
Thank you.
For me, it's love, light, unity.
Beautiful.
For me, is gratitude for the present moment, is mental health, and is traveling.
Thank
A lot
you.
of traveling.
For me, it's energy, love, and face.
Beautiful.
I read the question. I'm thinking of the answer right now. So I went to the opera. So every year I have a theme for myself of what I'm going to be like, and I have to answer this way. And I went to the opera in Sydney for the first time, and they had a show that was like all of the greatest hits that we all know, that I heard in all of the Looney Tunes cartoons and everything. And I was reading on top, it had all of what they were actually saying in the opera. And it was so dramatic. It was like, if you don't love me, I'm gonna kill myself. And if you don't do this, and I feel so much joy in the butterflies. And I thought it was so dramatic, and I was like so obsessed. So this year, I really wanna be overly dramatic and creative. And I think that people would say I'm unapologetic.
Bring the drama.
Bring the drama, yeah.
Well, one last question, since we're at the Cannes Film Festival. If your life would be a movie, what would you name it, or what movie it would be?
Wow, that's an amazing question. I think I would name it A Power of Love.
Beautiful.
I'm actually working right now on the documentary. I signed a deal with Oscar-winning production studio in Hollywood, so I don't know what's the name of the movie would be, but the audiobook is To Die For. So I guess it would be something James Bondy, maybe To Live For. I don't know, like live like a spy. So we'll see.
Well, mine will be definitely like the movie of Benjamin Button, the one that reverse age. So I'm all with anti-aging and like biohacking, obsessed. I hope 100% of us are wearing the same. So that's the rule I live by, to never end the improvement. So I don't drink alcohol, don't go out. I party in my own way with my bicycle, exercise, anything that help me to grow and to stay younger and beautiful.
Thank you.
If be honestly, I want to make my documentary film about women leadership, about inspiring women, and I think it will be named maybe Victories Through Challenges.
Oh, thank you.
I think that if I had a movie, it would be a comedy. And I always say I'm at the wrong place at the right time. So I always say that. So I think that might be my movie.
It's the right time to
Yes.
end the panel. Thank
Yes.
you so much. All the
you.
panelists, amazing speakers, and I'm sure everybody will enjoy rewatching this panel. Thank you.
Thank you.
ALIIA, you are mentioning Tom Cruise and Mission Impossible. Don't you think there was a move? There's already a move. Strong women are portrayed in the film. A general is a woman, and the president is a woman, and also the man, how he is portrayed, Tom Cruise, it's much more vulnerable. Did you see? There's a big move already taking place.
Thank you so much, my love. Yes, I totally agree, Alice. It's true. And in Hollywood, as you know, it's a huge moment for the last few years, which is amazing. And hopefully the James Bond would be female. And that's why, just to go a little bit further, I was proposed to create novels, books, and TV series to create this character based on my life. A strong female James Bond would probably be like a Jane Bond. So yes, it's coming, and I totally agree with you, and that's why probably the Mission Impossible was the last one, this one. So maybe the next one, it would be a female character, right? So women empowerment, women are the future. So yes, let's move there.
Yay. We take a picture.